So I'm guided that we use English and Kinyarwanda so that everyone of us is okay with either of the languages. So if I may take you through today's event agenda, we are going to begin with an opening prayer. Of course, we will have a welcome note and brief about World Vision Rwanda, presentation and documentation on business plan. Of course, highlighting and unpacking the key achievements of the universal coverage impacts. We will also have a session on mapping the blue thread video, documentary, presentation of World Vision new business plan. We will have a panel discussion with us, and we will have a Q&A session, remarks from our World Vision leadership, and remarks from the guest of honor, and we will have also a moment for a photo opportunity. So, and actually that's the agenda that we are going to follow today. Hanyuma narindimo tunyura muri agenda uyu munsi dufite, reka dusabe Bwana Mushumba Bishop aze asenge asengera ibirori byacu by'uyu munsi. Murakoze cyane. Mumuha amashyi atambuka.
Munyemerere mbasabe mujye hejuru dusenge Imana. Mana, turagushimiye mu izina rya Kristo Yesu. Tugushimiye ko waduhaye ubuzima, uduha impano nziza yo kubaho, uduha igihugu cyiza, uduha ubushobozi butandukanye bwo kumenya gukora ibyiza dukeneye ndetse n'abanyarwanda bacu bakeneye. Tugushimiye ko waduhaye abafatanyabikorwa batandukanye kugira ngo tubashe kurengera umwana mu buryo bwose mu mishinga itandukanye, yaba ari mu buryo bw'umubiri, mu buryo bw'imitekerereze ndetse no mu buryo bw'ubugingo. Tugushimiye ko uyu munsi wabayeho aho tugiye gukora launch kuri wash strategy 2630, tukaba tugusaba ngo utwemerere nk'uko watangiranye natwe muri urugendo, ubane natwe, uduhe umugisha, ibikorerwa ahangaha byose biyoborwe nawe. Dusengeye imirimo yose ikorerwa ahangaha, abaza gufata umwanya, ari presentation, ari ibiganiro, ibitekerezo bitandukanye, buri wese umuha umugisha, utangirane natwe, usozanye natwe mu izina rya Yesu. Amen.
Nakoze cyane. Nyakubahwa mushyitsi mukuru, Director General of Water and Sanitation from Ministry of Infrastructure, banyakubahwa ba directeri muvuye muri Line Ministries, muri Minifra, muri Minaroke, Minedik, Minisante, Ministry of Youth, muri Minema, muri Minagri, muri Ministry y'ibidukikije, banyakubahwa mwaturutse muri government agencies, district directors, donor agencies, private sector, international NGO, higher learning and research institutions, implementing partners, abavandimwe turabashuhuje kandi nanone tubahaye ikaze muri World Vision kuri ibi birori by'uyu munsi twakereye kugira ngo twizihize Global Wash Business Plan. Muri aka kanya turagira ngo twakire umuyobozi wa World Vision ushinzwe ibikorwa kugira ngo aze aduhe welcome note na brief about World Vision. The floor is yours, sir. Tumuha amashyi atambuka.
Director General, Minister of Infrastructure, and our guest of honor, representative from the government ministries, development partners, World Vision colleagues, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. My name is Innocent Mtabaruka. I'm Integrated Programs Director for World Vision, but standing in for our national director, who would have wished to be part of this exciting journey, but because of some other urgent and important matters that she had to attend to, she couldn't make it. But her spirit are with us here. So just to begin, I just want to take this opportunity to thank you all for joining us today as we launch our WASH business plan 2026-2030. For over 30 years, World Vision has been committed to standing in the gap, working alongside the government of Rwanda in terms of supporting communities to have access to clean water and sanitation. We ensured children have access to clean water, dignified sanitation, and health hygiene practices. We just concluded our strategy that had an initiative dubbed Finishing the Job within 39 sectors in the 16 districts. But the need is still immense. Together with the government of Rwanda, we co-funded a WASH initiative that brought safe water to all 39 sectors where we operated. Today, thousands of families are healthy, schools and health centers function better, children's well-being has significantly improved. This progress is a cause for celebration, but it's not the end of the journey. We still have a lot to do together. We still have communities in Rwanda and across the world where children wake up each day without assurance of clean water to drink, where mothers must choose between sending their daughters to school or sending them to fetch water, and where preventable diseases is still rampant. This is why the launching of the WASH business plan, mapping the blue thread. Shortly we'll be hearing from the expert within World Vision. They're also taking us through what does mapping the blue thread means. So it sets a bold course for the next 5 years with clear global goals to deliver adaptive, data-driven, and context-specific solutions in over 42 countries. And it aligns with Rwanda's own ambitious national vision and commitment to achieving SD 6, ensuring availability and sustainable management of water and sanitation for all. Our task ahead will not be easy as we navigate through this WASH business plan. Due to unpredictable funding landscape, all of us in the couple months ago, we witnessed the stop order or the executive orders from US we're all affected in one way or the other. So this unpredictable farming landscape and climate change have always affected us. However, you will see how our innovative approach, the dedicated team and commitment to excellence position us for success. We've actually made it. We're able to achieve 100%. We're able to have over 1.4 million people have access to clean water. It's because of this partnership. And we still believe those competences and skills are still with us. Allow me to pause at this juncture to express our gratitude. World Vision, we are in 30 districts. We're able to achieve what we achieved, but not because we have all the resources to be able to do what we are doing. But I want to express our sincere gratitude to the government of Rwanda for their leadership, accountability, and unwavering drive to make universal access WASH a reality. To our donors and partners, we cannot do all we are doing without funding. We want to extend our sincere appreciation to our donor community, our partners, because we leverage on their expertise to reach out to the communities. I've seen most of our partners are here, and we're able to achieve what we achieve because they are there doing what they are doing better. Also want to extend our sincere appreciation to our communities whose resilience, ownership, and hope remind us daily that transformation is not given from outside. Rather, it grows within. Water is indeed life, as common phrase states. It's a blue thread that connects people, places, and progress. It is at this heart of child well-being and foundation to our mission for every child, everywhere, to experience life in all its fullness. As we look ahead, let us commit together, no child should ever be left behind because of lack of water or lack of clean water. This business plan is a promise to the children, their families, and communities that we serve. May this launch not just be unveiling of another business plan, but the start of renewed momentum, strong partnership, and a shared determination to ensure that water, the blue thread, continues to weave dignity, health, hope into the lives of the million Rwandans. I believe we can make it together because we've actually done it, we did it together, and we can still do it in the next 5 years. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, IPD, for the opening remarks. Of course, water, if we take a moment to speak about water, sanitation, and hygiene, we can spend days, but I just want to quote slogans who said clean water is the world's first and foremost medicine for all. So I think this is exactly what it means, having clean water, especially for the people we serve, the children and communities. So at this point of time, allow me to welcome the next presenter, who is Marisore, to take us through the documentary and finish the job presentation. Marisore, over to you. A big hand clap as he comes forward.
Good morning. Maramutse. Bonjour. Okay, distinguished invitees, dear colleagues, my name is Marcelin Ndiaye. So I'm serving at World Vision Rwanda as a technical program manager in charge of water, sanitation, hygiene, but also overseeing our nutrition and health programs. So it's my pleasure today to take us through our previous business plan, the achievement of that previous business plan. So maybe some of us might be asking themselves why the previous one, while we are launching our new business plan. But there is a proverb that says, the past is a teacher. The past is a teacher. It lessens when embraced, light the path for wiser plans and a stronger future. And we applied this statement because we learned from our past business plan to design the new one we are going to present. I also believe that pictures speak louder than words. And that's the reason why, instead of having a PowerPoint presentation, I want us to follow a video which is talking about the journey we had from 2018 to date. So before going to that video, I just want to take this opportunity to thank our Blue Warriors. I'm calling them Blue Warriors because they were the ones who were in the front line of the battle. I mean our WASH staff and our technical partners who worked hard at the field level to achieve the result we are going to see. So thank you so much for your attention, and let us watch carefully that video. Thanks.
Rwanda was one of the first countries to implement the universal WASH coverage, which means that we wanted people to be able to access water 500 meters from their homes or less than 30 minutes of their walking distance.
We came from far. The baseline, as you can see it on the map, was the average baseline was 58.6% in the country. But in some areas we had 9%, 20%, 70%, 50%. But the community used to come fetch water in the stream down here. And as you can see, it's a dangerous area to walk, especially when it rains.
Tutari twabona amazi byari bigoye cyane. Kujya kuvoma na ahantu twakoreshaga nk'isaha kugira ngo ugeyo. Kugira ngo nje guhinga nabyo kagasa 11. Nkamanuka nkagenda nkagerayo nkavoma nkagaruka nagera hangaha nahageraga sa nkurushye. Nubundi nkajya guhinga ariko ayo mazi ntago yabaga mpagije, yabaga ari make cyane. Ubwo rero urebye nko gufura imyenda, gukaraba, guteka, mbese nk'ukuntu nabaga afite umwana nahoranaga nkibase njugunyamo ibyahi by'umwana y'amazi y'ibiziba kugira ngo nze gushaka utuzi twiza nonyuguzemo mbese kugira ngo ndebe yuko nagira icyahi gifuze. Ubwo rero byari bigoye.
And for the children, I'm just seated here with some little friend of mine here, Roslyn. They're very appreciative because before their siblings who are older were burdened with the responsibility of fetching water before going to school.
Ndashimira World Vision n'abaterankunga ko batuzaniye amazi meza hafi. Mbere twavomaga amazi mabi akadutera inzoka, none ubu tuvoma amazi meza nta kidutera inzoka.
Nitwa Yosuwa, ndashimira World Vision yatuzaniye amazi hafi. Twajyaga kuvoma kure tugacererwa ku ishuri, none dusigaye tuvoma hafi tukazinduka ku ishuri.
Kubona amazi ku bana banjye byatumye mu mutwe wabo hatuza, kuko aho babaga baryamye na nijoro yumvaga yuko aryamye asinziye, ariko mu mutwe habashije gutuza. Mu gitondo buracya, mu gitondo bakumva yuko ukavugira umwana ngo fata igiciro ujye kuvoma amazi, akagenda yumva umutima uri hamwe, akabona ukuntu ajya ku ishuri adakerewe.
When we say universal basic water service, we mean the community can have water within 30-minute round trip from their household. So this initiative, as I said, is linked to the objective of the SDGs and also to the objectives of the National Strategy for Transformation of the Government of Rwanda, which aims at reaching 100% coverage by 2024. Now you can see on the map at the end line that all the areas where World Vision works, the tight 9 sectors turned in green. So the average baseline now is 95%, which was our goal. So I can say that we can confidently say that we have reached our goal, and it also monitored through M-Water, where you can go through each sector to see how the end-line survey was conducted and how the household are reaching water within the buffer of 500 meters from their own home.
Umunsi wa mbere aya mazi yo haragura kungurwa byari ibyishimo byinshi cyane. Natekerezaga ukuntu nabyukaga saa 11 byanaremba bitewe na gahunda mfite, na saa 10 narabyukaga ngiye kuvoma. Noneho yabaga ari igihe cyo kumwijima, nacanaga ndabaga mfite agatoroshi cana mu nzira mpaka ngeze ku mugezi kugira ngo hatagira ikinkanga nkaba nasimbuka. Byabaye ibyishimo byinshi cyane kuko numvaga yuko ntazongera kubyuka igicuku njya kuvoma. Ubu ngubu ndabyuka amazi ahaharagura, nkazamura amabuni 2 nkayazana mu ntoki, nkabyuka saa 11 nkafura, saa 1 nkaba mvuye mu rugo, nkaba ngiye guhinga no guhinga, nkahingira igihe ngataha igihe. Ndikumva ari cyo byanyongereye. Ibijyanye n'iterambere biri kugenda biza buke buke, biteye yuko abana banje nanjye ubwanjye n'umutware wanjye tubasha kubya tugasagurira n'isoko bikeya, nta nurimo ufite imirire mibi cyangwa ngo arware bwaki.
Now they can fetch water from the nearest water point connected to these water systems. So when water is captured from the 5 springs, it goes through the chlorination system located here and then is stored in this water tank. So from this tank, water goes to the pumping station where it is pumped by 2 pumps which works alternatively. This water pumping station called Kivuruga is serving the population of Kivuruga area. So it serves above 11,000 people and 3 healthcare facilities and 3 schools.
It's important to note that World Vision believes in partnership, and for us to have achieved all these milestones, for example, in Rwanda, where we've been implementing the Finish the Job, we had so many commitments, supporters and partners from government, but also our donors like the Donsai, who've been very committed to our work and to be able to support in investing in the communities here in Rwanda, to ensuring that people are able to access safe and clean water.
I also want to echo the fact that your financial support, which has been very generous, provided, has acted as a catalyst to the transformative journey that the communities where World Vision serves are experiencing.
Presentation that is more informative than that video So thank you so much for your attention. May God bless you. Murakoze.
Another round of applause to Marisore for taking us through the impact. Of course, it is meticulous to see the impact through the video that presents an impact that is more comprehensive. And I like the quotes from the young boy. Uwitwa Joshua yavuze ati kera twavomaga kure none nsigaye mvoma hafi. Kuvoma hafi nuko nyine hari ubwo byakumvikana nko kuvoma hafi, ariko ni mu buryo bw'amazi. Amazi ayakura mu birometero bikeya cyane, kandi ari byo dushaka, ari byo ntego nyamukuru ya World Vision ndetse n'abafatanyabikorwa. Dear guest of honor, following the presentation as a documentary, I would like to invite Alice to take us through the Blue Thread documentary as well. The floor is yours. A big hand clap as she joins us. Thank you.
Thank you, Fred. Good morning, everyone. Yeah, you have seen that everywhere is written mapping the Blue Thread. It's our new theme for our new business plan. Here we consider water as the Blue Thread of integration, connecting people, places, and progress. It's very essential for the well-being of children and their communities. And water creates a pathway of poverty. And water also transforms lives by driving economic growth, food security, environmental resilience, safe health care, and education access. I would like to invite you to follow the video that talk more and explain more about the mapping the Blue Thread. Thank you so much.
Water. It's the blue thread of integration, connecting people, places, and progress. Foundational for well-being, economic growth, and resilience. Our 5-year business plan builds on this foundation, shaping a future where water transforms communities and creates pathways out of poverty. Rooted in this vision, our plan embraces critical approaches like adaptive implementation and entrepreneurial mindsets to drive the growth and impact of water, sanitation, and hygiene solutions. The plan focuses on 6 targeted initiatives that advance universal water coverage, women-centered designs, and innovative financing while addressing sanitation markets, wash in fragile contexts, and sustainable water resource management. Together, these initiatives amplify measurable transformation. By tailoring solutions to complex challenges, we ensure they are locally relevant, scalable, and sustainable. Addressing fragility improves water security, women-centered design drives empowerment, and innovative financing unlocks opportunity to new resources. Through these efforts, the blue thread flows purposely, connecting local needs with global goals, touching healthcare, education, economic empowerment, and more. Together, we're on a bold journey to 2030, championing innovation, empowering leaders, and uniting communities to create lasting impact. Will you join us in charting our journey to a healthier, thriving world?
Thank you so much again for taking us through this documentary. Dear guest of honor, dear IPD, at this point of time, if you allow me, we could pause for a tea break, just 15 minutes, and come back to our seats for next sessions. Thank you so much. Should I request Bishop Mushumba to bless our tea break?
been held in your hand from the moment that I wake up till I lay my head. Oh, I will sing goodness of God. All my life you have been faithful. All my life you have been so good. Every breath that I am able, I will sing of the goodness of God. I love your voice. You have led me through the fire, and in darkest night, you were close like no other. I've known you as a father, I've known you as a friend, and I have lived in the goodness of God.
Welcome from coffee break. I hope it was good. So, dear guest of honor, dear IPD, at this point of time, I would like to welcome the next presenter, Mr. Valens, to take us through the presentation of World Vision Rwanda's new business plan. The floor is yours, Mr. Valens. Thank you. A big hand clap.
Thank you. So, hello? Good. My name is Valens Ndaya Jose. I'm the Acting Director of Strategy and a Program Quality at the World Vision Rwanda office. So I just want to take you through our business plan, WASH business plan, from 2026 up to 2030. Yes. So the goal of our strategy, our WASH business plan strategy, covers 4 goals. So moving forward, we want to accelerate our operations and reach more people and institutions with water services. And now we also envision to deepen our interventions by increasing resilience in the most vulnerable households, even empowering women through unified activities. We also have good intent to demonstrate that WASH works and that we will be contributing to global reporting. I mean the Global Sustainable Development Goals, and also have real-time reporting to stakeholders. So this is our great stand, whereby we make our commitment. Last but not least, we will now implement our WASH intervention, then achieve a leveraging kind of goal, whereby we want to develop projects with repairable financing solutions and increase cost sharing. So the cost sharing model worked better. And we have a good intent now to do more with cost sharing. And we also invite the key stakeholders to work with us throughout this journey, and just now co-finance, co-share all these WASH interventions with World Vision. So throughout our journey ahead to 2030, we will work, then make a shift to from our current cost sharing, which is 60 that World Vision covers, and against 40% that government invest, and the shift will be 50-50, equitable cost sharing. So we hope the government of Rwanda is willing to work with us throughout this journey, and even from the previous slide that people have been sharing, this has been a key journey, then produce tremendous results and outcome. So our WASH financing products will be used, then leveraged to demonstrate our measurable cross-sector impact, whereby we want to demonstrate that our WASH intervention works, then contribute to reduce growth stunting in children and increase school attendance, even agriculture productivity. So with our WASH business plan, we have decided to cover a number of regions. So our geographic area coverage will be 22 WASH program locations across the country, whereby we will be investing 34 million USD together with our partner. I will share breakdown of this funding, how this funding will be generated along the way. So our technical focus area, we cover 5 high-level technical programming that we cover water supply and water quality, governance finance, disaster management, sanitation, hygiene, and water security. So, as I said, you remember the slide that our colleague, Mr. Marcelin, shared with us, whereby he said that we finished the job. We finished the job means our division, together with the government of Rwanda, we met our targets. This time, our big focus will be driving into sanitation and hygiene this time. So from 2026 up to 2030, sanitation and hygiene are our prime priorities. But we keep working around water supply system, then support the government of Rwanda and our key partners through water supply system, but this time through partnership. As I said from my previous slide, our shift of cost share is actually equitable share 50-50. So I'm calling upon the government of Rwanda, even the key colleagues, stakeholders here that, and especially corporate, that please let's work together along the journey. But moving forward, sanitation and hygiene will be strengthened and focused. How? Why? Because we finish the job, we go back to the location that where we supply water and do more with sanitation and hygiene. You can see from the slides number of targets we have, whereby we target to reach around 1.3 million with hygiene people served, and 226 schools to be supported, and around 95 healthcare facilities that supported with hygiene. So the same number, 95 healthcare facility will be supported with sanitation, latrines, and a number of other key services around the sanitation, and now they cover around 700,000 people supported with sanitation. Improved latrines. So within school, because you remember, we have a good intent to increase school attendance. So through water investment or through wash investment, so sanitation will be covered around 246 schools supported with sanitation services throughout our new business plan document or investment. So as I said, how are we break down and how should we be able to generate our cost for us to implement our business plan? The source of these costs will be generated mainly from available base funds. The base fund from World Vision are, charitable or charity fund from our base sponsor, especially across the globe. So they committed to give us 7 million USD, which will be used to meet our sanitation and hygiene prime priority and the target that I shared. So as I said, through partners, we reach more and cover water supply system. So from the base fund, we want to match our base fund with stakeholder investment, corporate, including like corporate, private sector, and especially the government of Rwanda. So we made a stand whereby our future fundraising leveraging model will be 80 to 80-20. What does it mean? So as the base fund, as the sponsor cover, for instance, like a 1 million, they request us to do more, then match our fund with 4 times. So this means that a national office match and mobilize 4 times than base fund. So as I said, the base fund is, the fund from our sponsor, especially, in a brief. So we generate this match fund from sponsorship, as I said, and the private, non-sponsorship, investment under grants. Grants, I mean bilateral grants. For instance, the one from EU, we do our best to match and see how we can cover a number of water supply support. And, the government of Rwanda co-financing is one of our prior and a key, vision we have. Because whatever we do for the benefit of Rwandans. So we hope that the equitable cost share model that I shared, 50-50, that the government of Rwanda will take this interest and do more. So, but if we were graced by God as we are a Christian organization, and I support now any stakeholder, like a private sector stakeholder that is in interest to us, maybe have this interest to fund more and give us money. We work together with this key private sector and cover the WASH services as well. This is part of our strategy, whereby if you have this investment, we can also cover water, sanitation, and hygiene through partnership, as I said. So throughout our program, throughout our WASH business plan, we have a number of initiatives. So you remember the slide from Marcel, the Blue Thread. Our Blue Thread new brand covers 6 components. So one of those 6 components is women-centered design. We want to test this component under Blue Thread brand in the Asia Heza AP area program. So whereby we support this AP and test these and cover around 86,000 people above, and especially including women in 4 sectors from Nyamasheke districts, connecting these communities with water access to schools, healthcare facilities for sustainable community transformation. Another key initiative throughout our journey with this new business plan from our end will be universal service coverage. So here we share one of the key models that will be used, part of our initiative, to achieve our targets. So these will be implemented in Umurava area program. So you can see a water plant. This cover Mugomga, Kansi, and Kigembe, and we intend to reach 90% of people supported, and have an access from Gisagara district with basic drinking water services. And almost like and above, 27,000 people will be supported. By doing this, we, as I said from our strategy, compact water treatment plants and do our best to distribute water across the communities. Of course, we can't do this alone. We keep this journey with our existing partners and our key stakeholders like WASAC, Water for People, and Red Cross, Rwanda Red Cross. So part of monitoring and evaluation, as I know, actually, M Water is trending. M Water is a monitoring wash system whereby we use GIS to track our records, I mean wash records. So the M Water system is being used by key stakeholders even from UN, so World Vision has this capacity to support the rest of stakeholders. So we use the same system, M Water, to track our records and capture the blue thread integration throughout our programming. So briefly, you have our business plan in your folder. You can check the content because I have just shared the brief information. Thank you so much for your great attention. So we have time to share any question, then respond to those questions, then provide timely answer. Thank you so much. God bless you.
Thank you so much, Valens, for taking us through your presentation. Indeed, that's our mandate as World Vision and partners, and we, World Vision, cannot achieve this alone, but once we work with partners, we know that we are on a sure ground, and together we reach far. So, dear guest of honor, allow me to welcome the next session. That is going to be a panel discussion. On this moment, I want to invite Maria. Please come forward to moderate the next session. A big hand clap as she joins us on the stage.
Good morning once again. We just had coffee. Good morning. Yes, much better. Thank you very much, and welcome to our WASH Business Plan launch happening today. It's my delight to welcome you once again for the panel discussion too on partnering for impact in the 2026-2030 WASH Business Plan. We're going to have an important conversation that brings together key stakeholders, and each of them plays a very vital role in shaping and implementing Rwanda's WASH agenda. Allow me to introduce our wonderful team of panelists. We'll begin with the Acting Managing Director for WASAC, Mr. Innocent. My apologies. Yes, we'll begin with the Acting Managing Director for WASAC, yes, Innocent Bahiga. Thank you, you're welcome. I'm sorry, yes. Bahije, my sincere apologies. You're very welcome. Yes, and next up, I'll introduce another panelist, and that is our District Director from the One Stop Center in Nyagatare District, Mr. Alphonse Rusakaza. You're very welcome. Thank you. And next up we'll introduce Fabiola. Fabiola is a WASH Technical Design Manager for World Vision Rwanda. Fabiola, you're very welcome. And last but not least, Marie Leonce, our Regional WASH Specialist for World Vision East Africa. Thank you. Our team of panelists looks exciting already. Do you see what I see? Yes, ladies, men, very good. Yeah, so we'll begin a very important discussion. You can greet your neighbor in the meantime. Thank you very much. Fabiola, our WASH Technical Design Manager for World Vision Rwanda. We heard a bit about the WASH business plan and mapping the blue thread, but for the people who probably didn't pay attention or needed to understand it much better, would you briefly tell us, very briefly tell us a little bit more about WASH, what the WASH business plan entails and what the mapping the blue thread theme is all about? Thank you.
Thank you, Maria. Good morning once again. So our WASH business plan for FY26 to FY30 is all about mapping the blue thread. They've been talking about mapping the blue thread, and yeah, the blue thread is water that connect people, places, and locations. So in the next 5 years, mapping the blue thread is offering transformative, it's our vision, in fact, to offer transformative WASH solutions that transforms lives of people and child well-being and most vulnerable communities. We have a number of focus, as they mentioned in our previous presentation. We have priorities in sanitation and hygiene, priorities in water supply and water quality. We also have governance and finance. Our effort will be grounded in 10 fundamentals, but mentioning a few community engagement and the government. There are also quality control, as we are WASH, so we do infrastructure, so we also be focusing on quality control and also for multi-sectoral integration, as the blue thread is connecting people and places. So multi-sectoral integration is our key foundation for the next 5 years. We have program-specific interventions to demonstrate tangible results. We have the place-based initiatives. We mentioned the number of WASH financing. In fact, we have previously launched WASH financing initiatives in the Huye district, targeting to reach 1,400 people with household connection through loan mechanism. So we call upon private sectors, banks, to come match our effort and reach more people with safely managed water. We also have women-centered design as an approach to empower women and a Strong Women, Strong World project. So this is a way to empower women beyond having access to clean water, so that their lives is more improved as they save time from, they invested in WASH because of lack of water and other WASH intervention. So we're also looking on ways to build their capacity and improve their lives. So there are many, but this is like a summary of what our WASH business plan entails in the next 5 years. Thank you, Maria.
Thank you, Fabiola. Thank you for laying the foundation and giving us a clear sense of what this WASH business plan and the mapping the blue thread is all about. Next up, we'll hear from Mr. Rusakaza from the One Stop Center in Nyagatare. Mr. Rusakaza, what is the district's strategy on co-financing? And maybe a little bit about the WASH investment plan at district level. Thank you.
Murakoze cyane, muraza kunyemerera dukoresha ururimi rwacu rutubangukira, ngira nk'uko mwari mwabitwemereye, ndumva turi buvange Icyongereza''Ikinyarwanda''. Murakoze cyane. Nk'uko ikibazo kibaza, what is the government's strategy on co-financing for WASH look like. Mu by'ukuri nk'uko twari dusanzwe tubimenyereye, tuzi neza ko government ya contributingaga 40%, then World Vision muri gahunda yayo ya WASH implementation iga contributinga 60%. Twumvaga ko ntacyo bitwaye, kuko cyane cyane ko akarere as an institution kandi ari government, hari ibindi bikorwa mu by'ukuri iba yarabanje gukora mbere y'uko gahunda ya World Vision muri gahunda yayo inyuza muri WASH implementation igeza ku baturage amazi meza, water supply system cyangwa se clean water. Hari ibindi bikorwa iba yarabanje gukora kugira ngo icyo gikorwa gitegurwe, hanyuma implementation yo kugeza amazi meza ku baturage igende neza. Ariko tukaba tubona ko muri aka kanya bishobora guhinduka, hakabaho kubalansinga, government iga contributinga 50%, then World Vision nayo iga contributinga 50%. Mu mikoranire myiza ndetse no mu bwuzuzanye, twavuga ko nabyo ntacyo bitwaye, abikozwe gutyo tukanganya uburyo bwo kugira ngo habeho gahunda ifatika, aho World Vision ya contributinga 50% na government iga contributinga 50% muri gahunda yo kugeza amazi meza ku baturage, ntacyo byaba bitwaye. Byarushaho kugenda neza, abaturage bose bakagerwaho n'ibikorwa cyangwa se n'imirimo yo kugezwaho amazi meza. Ndumva ari cyo ngicyo nabivugaho. Murakoze cyane.
Murakoze cyane. Kondwani, I need someone to translate for yeah, he basically talked about the co-financing aspect between World Vision Rwanda and the government of Rwanda, how during the previous strategy, World Vision contributed 60%, and the government of Rwanda was contributing 40%. But right now, both the government of Rwanda and World Vision Rwanda will be contributing 50%, 50-50%. Yeah, and I know you've picked some Kinyarwanda, so I hope you got the rest. Thank you. Yes, thank you, Mrakoze Chane, Mr. Rusakaza. We'll go to our WASAC Managing Director. Would like to hear from you, what is WASAC doing to contribute to SDG 6 in terms of WASH infrastructure development? Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Maria. This is a very good question. How WASAC is contributing toward SDG 6. Nkuko mubizi, WASAC ni government implementing agency ishinzwe kwanshoringa ko policies zijyanye n'amazi ndetse na sanitation zirimo kuba implemented. So icyo dukora kwanshoringa ko turimo ku meetinga SDG 6 byinshi biribanda mu kwegereza abaturage services z'amazi ndetse na za sanitation. Nkuko mubizi, in the coming 4 years ko dusigaje 4, target ya government ni uko tugera kuri 100% y'abaturage bafite access ku mazi. So kugana aho ngaho ari ibintu byinshi birimo gukorwa, arimo imishinga yo kuzamura capacity ya production hose mu gihugu ndetse n'imishinga ku extendinga a network. Hano nkabamboneyo gushimira World Vision kuko irimo no kudufasha none gutera indi ntambwe, atari only kwibanda kuri network extension, ahubwo no korosha uburyo abaturage bashobora kubona amazi mu ngo zabo. Nkuko mubizi, uyu munsi tugeze nko kuri 18% y'abaturage bafite amazi in their premises, kandi target mu myaka 4 nuko tugera at least kuri 50%. So kandi ibi ngibi byose bikaba bikorwa ari no mu mujyi ndetse no mu cyaro. So muri make contribution ya WASAC tugana kuri SDG 6 ubundi niyo mandate yacu as a government agency ishinzwe gushyira mu bikorwa policy za government ku bijyanye n'amazi ndetse na sanitation. Numva ariko nguko nabisubiza. Thank you very much.
Murakoze cyane. Thank you so much for highlighting the importance of sustainability alongside infrastructure development, but also for us to learn that this is one of the key, it's a mandate that is being aligned with all the government plans in relation to water, WASH. Yeah, finally, would like to bring the regional perspective, to hear from regional perspective. And Marie-Léonce, our regional WASH specialist, would like to hear from you. How is the region going to support the implementation of the WASH business plan? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Maria. So I would say that the role of the region is basically guiding and supporting role. So I think most effort will be put in building capacities of WASH warriors. So that means to help them having really the capacity of implementing the set goals, exchanging capacity between countries, but also across regions, and also ensuring that we keep aligning with the region and global strategies, but of course with World Vision values, and also, but I would say above all, meeting the quality, minimum quality requirements. That includes also complying with international standards. So in WASH, when we say international standards, is basically different standards that we are referring to. Those include also national standards to make sure that we are also aligning with the government standards, but also keeping within the international standards. So the role also is going to be linking the WASH program, the national WASH program, with other national WASH programs across the region, but also globally, to learn from each other, to exchange innovations and best practices, and also link them with donors, with potential funders in regards of fund mobilizing. I mean, in the previous presentation, we saw that there is, of course, the base funding, but there is also other funds that the national office has to raise. So the role of the region is also supporting in that regard. Thank you.
Marie-Léonce, thank you for those reflections and helping us see the bigger picture at regional level. 3 key things I pick from what you just shared. From the region, we expect support and guidance, building capacity of WASH warriors, and the WASH warriors are all in this room, and also aligning with the government and regional standards. As a follow-up, Fabiola, we heard from our representative, our director from Nyagatare district. He talked about the 50-50 split between government and World Vision Rwanda. As a follow-up, would like to hear from you, why is co-financing and WASH financing so important right now? Why is it an important conversation or something we want to bring on board or to continue actually, especially in the context of the 2026 and 2030 WASH business plan? While you respond to that, we'd also like to hear from you, how will World Vision determine where and how much to co-invest? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Maria. So co-financing, WASH financing is very important for our FY26-30 business plan, because when you have big targets, of course you need more funds to reach the targets. Looking at the gap in achieving the SDG 6, there is a need to put effort together so that we reach our targets. one organization is not enough to reach the target we have. And we are all aware of the global crisis of rising cost of infrastructures, but again, shrinkage of funds. So co-financing is definitely the way to go to bridge the gap and ensure our targets are met. So yeah, they say that two are better than one. So if we are more than two partners, I think we can do much more. Yeah. In our previous business plan, they have talked about how much Rwanda and the government of Rwanda and World Vision has reached more than 1 million people with access to clean water. I think they could not have reached that target without co-financing. So we need more funds. We need to put effort together to reach our ambitious target. Again, WASH financing. So WASH financing is a new strategy to ensure we still reach our targets. So as we mentioned about WASH financing that we are implementing in Hui as a pilot to improve household connection, to support the government reach the target of 2029 or 50% household connection, WASH financing is also key. So we call upon private partners in WASH financing, because we used to hear that WASH is for government NGOs, but we also need private sectors in this journey so that we reach our targets. So regarding how World Vision is going to determine where to co-finance, basically World Vision interventions goes to where there is a pressing need. Like it's based on need and vulnerability assessment. So first of all, we consider those areas where we are working in. Secondly, we do community and government consultation to determine the pressing need. Then we put our efforts there. Lastly, we consider leverage and the partnership opportunities. So if there are people like investors or government NGOs who are planning to invest somewhere and call upon World Vision, it would be something good to build on and put our financing there. So building on what Nyagatare person mentioned, 50-50 co-financing, it's very welcomed, and we would wish even to go higher than 50-50 so that we reach more people. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Fabiola. One organization can't reach the goal, so efforts from all the partners are needed. That's what I hear from what you're saying. And also, WASH financing is the way to go. But while we talk about all the partners we need on board, private sector, Fabiola highlights that we need private sector on board, so we hope to work with more entities from the private sector as well. We'll now go back to our director from Nyagatare One Stop Center. How does WASH implementation currently stand among the priorities you oversee at the District One Stop Center? Thank you.
Murakoze cyane. Nagira ngo nsabe mu by'ukuri tubanze dushimire cyane abafatanyabikorwa bacu World Vision. Tubashimire cyane. Mbanze mvuge ko mu by'ukuri World Vision na mufatanyabikorwa mwiza. Nkuko mubizi, Nyagatare nk'akarere kanini mu gihugu kandi gafite population y'abaturage iri hejuru. Twavuga ko gukenera amazi kw'abaturage nako kuri hejuru ni kwinshi. So tudafite World Vision muri gahunda yayo kugeza amazi meza ku baturage, twaba dufite igihombo. Niyo mpamvu nshaka ko twongera tukabashimira. Nkuko mwabibonye muri videos zatambutse, muri presentation zabanje, tudafite amazi nta buzima twaba dufite. Ni igikorwa cya World Vision gikomeye cyo kugeza amazi ku baturage. Twabibonye hariya, kandi kugeza amazi ku baturage meza. Twifuza ko World Vision twayigumana, kuko ikora imirimo myiza, yakoze ibikorwa byinshi mu karere ka Nyagatare. Ariho mvuga kuko naje ariho mpagarariye uyu munsi. Twifuza ko twagumana nayo, tugakomeza tugafatanya mu bikorwa byo kugeza amazi meza ku baturage. Navuga ko muri priorities dufite gahunda ya World Vision yo kugeza amazi meza ku baturage ibinyujije muri WASH implementation. Mu by'ukuri ni igikorwa kinini kiremereye twavuga ko tutatakaza. Ni gahunda yayo yo kugeza amazi meza ku baturage iri mu bikorwa bya mbere muri first priority dufite. Twifuza ko mu by'ukuri twakomeza gukorana nayo kuko nk'uko byagaragaye kugeza amazi meza ku baturage kandi ku bwinshi nk'uko twagiye tubibona nk'uko byagiye bigaragara imaze kugera ahantu henshi mu bikorwa bitandukanye byo kugeza amazi meza ku baturage. Nari nabigarutseho ko tuyitakaje twaba dufite igihombo kinini. Twifuza rero ko twayigumana tugakomeza tugakorana nayo kugira ngo dushobore kugeza amazi meza ku baturage kugeza igihe tuzabona ko abaturage bose babonye amazi meza. Numva ari icyo ngicyo navuga. Murakoze.
Murakoze cyane Mr. Rusakaza. In a nutshell, I will just share briefly what he just mentioned. He appreciated World Vision as a key partner in providing access to clean water in Nyagatare district, among other districts. He also mentioned that Nyagatare has a high population and therefore there's great need for water services also. He mentioned that World Vision has played a key role in providing access to clean water in Nyagatare, and he also stressed that providing access to clean water is among the key priorities in Nyagatare district, and he hopes that they'll continue to work with World Vision in this endeavor to provide access to clean water in Nyagatare until every person in the community has access to clean water because of the previous achievements that they've been able to achieve in partnership, World Vision and the district. Thank you, Chane. As a follow-up, we'll also, just to build on what Mr. Rusakaza just shared, would want to hear from Managing Director from WASAC. How does WASAC ensure community ownership and long-term maintenance of jointly funded WASH infrastructures?
Yeah, thank you, Maria. Number question nayumvishe neza niki dukora to ensure ko community bafite ownership y'ibikorwa biba byabakorewe ari twebwe cyangwa n'abafatanyabikorwa. So icyo dukora cya mbere ni kuengaginga abaturage mu mishinga yose tugiye gukora, ari iyo dukora twenyine cyangwa iyo dufatanyemo n'abafatanyabikorwa nka World Vision, nuko tugeramo part ya community mobilization. Dufite team y'abantu bajya kuri ground bagasobanurira abaturage umushinga wariwo n'akamaro ubafitiye n'uburyo bakomeza kuwubungabunga. Ikindi dukora nuko platform zose dufite mu gihugu uburyo dushobora communicatingamo n'abaturage turabukoresha, ari imiganda, ari inteko z'abaturage. Ntanze nk'urugero, hari amaze igihe aboneka ibibazo bya vandalism kuri infrastructures, atari z'amazi gusa ndetse n'iz'amashanyarazi, telecommunication n'ibindi. Haje gufata ibyemezo yuko ari abayobozi ba WASAC, REG n'izindi nzego kwegera abaturage mu nteko z'abaturage bakabaganiriza, bakabibutsa akamaro ibyo bikorwa bibafitiye ndetse n'ingaruka igihe ibyo bikoresho byabaye vandalized. So icyavuyemo ni iki, nuko muri iyi minsi tugisigaye tubona information nyinshi zivuye mu baturage aho bagaragaza aho bikorwa birimo kuba vandalized, ndetse bagatanga n'amakuru arushijeho ku buryo bifasha no gukora muri investigation. So muri make icyagaragaye nuko igihe abaturage batari engaged kwanshuaringa sustainability ibikorwa dukora iba itameze neza. So muri make icyo dukora ni kubengejinga ndetse no kumva uko batekereza kuri service tubaha. Thank you very much.
Murakoze cyane. Thank you very much, our Managing Director from WASAC. I'll just summarize what he mentioned. He mentioned that he was responding to the question about how WASAC ensures community ownership. And he mentioned that WASAC does engage the community through community mobilization. So they take the time to explain to the community members about the various projects, WASH projects that are in place and how the community will benefit from them. He also mentioned that they do use various platforms to communicate, such as Umuganda, among many others. And he emphasized that sustainability is difficult to achieve once you do not engage the community members. So we are glad that WASAC takes this very serious, and they do engage the community members. They mobilize them and create a sense of ownership at community level. Thank you so much. Yes, we'll go back to to Marie-Léonce. Marie-Léonce, would you help share with us what are some of the lessons that have been learned from past WASH projects? Thank you.
Thank you, Maria. So, the key lessons that we learned from this co-financing, I would say, it's timely engagement of the right partner is really important. Because co-financing with government is not something easy to do. So knowing who to engage with at the right time has been, I would say, the key to the success of this partnership. And also it helps us to cascade the partnership from central government to district, and very easily. Some would not understand at the first, but by doing, others will, and seeing the outcomes, others also understand. So secondly, having clear responsibilities between the partners or the co-financing agencies is really important to facilitate transactions, but also the smooth implementations of projects. It also enables accountability in terms of people are investing in one project, so they would feel more accountable when it comes to taking action. So, but also these implies exchanging capabilities, like the things that World Vision can do, but WASAC or district cannot do, or things that WASAC and government have abilities in, and World Vision does not have that ability. So these also bring them together on the same table in solving solutions, finding innovations, and so on. So, and then it also requires some level of flexibility, because the government, for example, the government financial year is different to World Vision financial year. So it requires really meticulous planning together, so that at the end, the implementation is well done. So, and then, so it has been really a successful, that I would say some countries also learned from us. For instance, Eswatini, Zambia, and Ghana are also moving to co-financing with their respective government as a result of what we have been able to do here in Rwanda. So it was really something that worth doing. And also, lastly, I would say it's the way to go now to fund water access and sanitation access. So from the global data, we see that the wash sector is really not performing very quickly as other sectors. Like we are still behind what we had to do by 2030. So which means more investment, more funds are needed. So it's good that we also explore co-financing, not only with the government, but also with the community and with private sector, as Fabiola was saying. So I would say, I think those are the key reasons that we learned from this partnership.
Thank you very much, Leonce. That was very clear. Thank you for the powerful insights and lessons learned from a previous WASH co-financing initiative. Yeah, we have about 9 minutes to go, and we'll allow a question, a comment or two from our audience. We can't leave you out. Yes, any question or comment? Yes, Fred.
So thank you very much for the good presentations of our panelists. My name is Jean-Baptiste from the Water Aid Rwanda. So I take this moment to commend the efforts done by World Vision as far as the universal wash is concerned. So my question is very brief. We know that we are all aware that among the key pressing issues and demands to achieve the universal wash, there are many of the challenges that you are facing, especially the climate change impacts, the non-revenue waters, as well as the low production capacity. I would like to hear from the World Vision team how these challenges have been catered for today's business plan for the WASH. Thank you.
Thank you. Fabiola or Marie-Leonce wants to take that up.
Thank you very much for a very great question related to climate resilience and also non-revenue water. It's really a big challenge hindering delivery of water services. When we start with non-revenue water, World Vision is promoting the remote monitoring system in the next 5 years. So this is going to help reducing the non-revenue water. In regard to climate resilience, we are recommended, or our WASH infrastructure, we design them in a way to withstand unpredictable weather events. So we consider climate resilience in our designs of WASH infrastructures. So the rest, Marie-Leonce can complement. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So in our next business plan, we have, I would say, 3 key areas where we are going to ensure that we really reduce the non-revenue water and address, at least try to address climate change issues. One is the quality assurance and quality control of infrastructure, making sure that we are using the quality materials, we are using processes that are acceptable and within the standards. So these will help us making sure that we are having strong infrastructure that are going to withstand the climate disasters, but also providing quality service to the community. That includes reducing the non-revenue water. So in addition to different innovation systems that we are going to apply, we believe that by working together with WASAC and district, but also other regulating agencies, we will be able really to upgrade the quality of our systems. So I believe that you know that World Vision does not do operation and management of water systems. So, so this will be done through partnership with agencies that are in charge of that. So the other thing is we will be focusing on water resource management. There is one technical area, that's one among other technical areas that we are going to focus on, water resource management. And this is in regards to climate change, ensuring that the watersheds, the source that we are using, we don't overuse them. But we also have in mind that climate change is real and also integrate it in our plannings. So I know that as we previously I said setting accountability by doing co-financing. This brings on board the district, but also other agencies, because before we do any water supply project, we engage those agencies to take into consideration those arising issues. And third, I would say also disaster management is one of our technical areas within this strategy. So within disaster management, we also make sure that we create resilience in our WASH program. So with those three areas, we believe that through running processes, we will be able to address at some level non-revenue water and climate change. Thank you.
Thank you, Marie-Léonce. We have room for one more question or comment.
Thank you very much. My name is Lois Bamwini. I lead Equity Group Foundation Rwanda, which is Equity Bank Foundation. So my question, but before I go to the question, thank you for reminding us that water is the thread that connects places and people. That's a very big statement for us to take home. So considering Equity and its foundation, that one of the key pillars that we run is energy environment change. And the main program that we run again is WASH. And part of the panel discussion and the earlier presentations, you focused more on leveraging on the private sector for investments for the 50% that will come from World Vision. So I wanted to understand how the private sector can be able to come in from the banking and financing perspective. Thank you.
Thank you. That's a very good question. And I like what you said about the blue thread. The team is doing a good job if you got that. Fabiola, you look like you want to respond to that.
Okay. Yeah, I can try. So how the 50-50 co-financing of WASH investment looks like for banking and private investors. So the 50-50 co-financing was basically, or is basically, for NGOs and government, because they are not looking for profit. They want to help people. In my understanding, when it comes to bank, there's somehow they would need some interest. So we also have part of WASH financing, where banks can come in, like providing loans to the community, and then they get some benefit from that, but still helping the community. So I would say banking, private investors are more on WASH financing side to invest through loans, but also a private partner can also get a loan to build a water system, and later, if they manage the system, they'll be generating money, but again, helping the community have access to clean water. So basically, the contribution of 50-50 would come for government and the NGOs who are not looking for a benefit or profit, and WASH financing come for the private investors. But the entire goal is to have many people accessing WASH services. So we mentioned about household connection, but we also have market for sanitation to improve sanitation access with the sustainable and durable equipment or materials or infrastructures. So banks and other private investors are more falling in the side of wash financing, which brings them profit, but again help the community. Thank you.
Thank you, Fabiola. Thank you very much. We'll have our programs director say something also. Yes.
No, thank you so much, Fabiola. You really nailed it down. Thank you, Equity Bank, for that very wonderful question. What we are doing with wash financing, as Fabiola mentioned, we've already connected over 50 households in Huye district, where we are connecting households. And we want actually to continue this kind of direction, working with the private investors and banks like Equity, BK, and other banks, because we want actually to see connecting household as a viable business. We are moving away from the blanket handout to now the household also contributing to their own investment. So we want the banks and private investors to see connecting households as a viable business, and maybe they can charge some kind of interest so that at the end of the day, we're able to meet the target. The Minister of Infrastructure indicated that they want to connect almost everybody with clean water, but agencies like World Vision, UNICEF, WFP, and the government cannot be able to connect. But how do we bring other players, like the banks, private investors, to also play a role in terms of complementing the efforts of the government? So we want actually to create this wash financing as a viable business, so that even the banks and the other investors, they see it as a profitable business. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That was very powerful. IPD, our programs director. Yes, ownership at household level for access to water throughout the communities in partnership with private sectors like Equity Bank, among other stakeholders. Thank you so much. There was someone who, okay, that's the very last one, then we'll wrap up. Yes.
Thank you very much. My name is Olivier Tuishimle. I'm coming from Water for People. I wanted to ask, if you look in our interventions, you see that most of the work we do, especially when it comes to infrastructure, is mainly around the rehabilitation of non-functional systems most of the time. And I wanted to know what is in this new strategy that will be done so that we tackle the root cause, because we might implement, celebrate, everyone is happy and we go home, but if we don't tackle the operationalization of those systems, the sustainability part, especially thinking of those that are managing the systems on daily basis, it will end up non-functional, and then we will come to invest again, which is, we can't keep dancing that dance. So my question is, I know it's fully the responsibility of WASAC as an institution from the government to make them fully operational, but what is World Vision's vision within this strategy to support WASAC in achieving like universal coverage, but specifically water continuing flowing in the provided systems? Thank you.
Thank you for the good question. Marie-Léonce?
Yeah, thank you very much, Olivier. So through this new strategy, we have two key areas where we want to address that issue of rehabilitating. So the first one is on this document that we have. If you scan the QR code, you will get to the details of the strategy, and you will see that among the 10 fundamentals that we have of the strategy, we have the culture of quality. So culture of quality is basically about ensuring that the processes of wash infrastructure development are comprised to standards, like doing I would say, I will give an example, a very technical example, starting with environmental assessment prior doing any WASH project. Discussing with stakeholders or with partners, government, WASAC, how this project is going to be sustained, to survive to climate change, and then ensuring quality of materials across the cycle of the project construction, but also having in mind the cycle cost of the project itself. At the end, how are we going to see it sustained? Who is going to take over? How, what is going to be the content of the handover, and how are we going to monitor this project? That includes also water quality alongside that. So by doing that, we ensure that we really have a strong water supply system that is going to last at least a number of years without having to go through repairs and so on. The second is what we just discussed about, is WASH financing. So part of the WASH financing strategy is, of course, working with communities or household, but is also working with utilities. At the beginning of this WASH financing initiative, we had a lot of discussions with WASAC, and we were projecting of seeing now private operators, even WASAC itself, getting investment, putting investment into operation and management, because nowadays the issue is like there are no planned funds to sustain or to operate our water supply system. And also there is an issue of capacity building, which is also part of the WASH financing. Capacitating operators, like they don't wait to see a pump really going down to start maintaining it. You need to start doing the area, seeing the signals that you need to do something, instead of waiting months for the pump to stop working. So there is also engaging into green energy. So we've seen that also using grid electricity is costly, while investing in green energy is costly as at the prior investment. But along the life of the water supply system, it's going to be the cost. Operation cost is going to be reduced, and then invest more in operational, like maintenance of the real hardware of the water supply system. So those are the components that we want to really explore to tackle this issue of rehabilitation. I think maybe Baige wants to add that.
Yeah, thank you, Olivier. Yeah, let me put it in Kinyarwanda so that maybe I may be more clear. So nekereza ko root cause, yes, operation, maintenance and operation birimo, ariko tubisubiye inyuma nawe usanga n'uburyo iyo miyoboro yubatswe nawe ubwayo aracyari mu kibazo. Nekereza ko ari rugendo tugomba kwemera tukarujyamo, ariko tukarujyamo neza. Nekereza ko ari initiative government yafashe iyo kwanshuringa ko iyo miyoboro irimo kuba well managed. Arimo no kwengagingamo private youth companies. Of course, some of NGOs ntago babyakiriye vuba, ariko apparently nta yindi choice dufite. Urebye neza private operator benshi twari dufite mu myaka ishize, benshi ntago bari riri muri business y'amazi. Usanga umuntu afite indi business, akaba afite imiyoboro irimo abakanyamigezi, umuyoboro akawumanaginga igihe wabaye completely wapfuye completely akawabandona. So kubwanjye icyo numva nuko iyo muyoboro government yafashe tugerageze tuyumve kandi tunakompanye youth companies. Youth companies twabahaye imiyoboro imwe n'imwe ntabwo ikora. Uyu munsi kuza kubashiraho umutwaro yo kuvuga ko batarimo gukora neza kubera ko umuyoboro udakora, numvaga ntago biri fe. Ikindi cya kabiri ni dushaka no kubafasha, tubafashe mu buryo bufatika. Sinekereza ko capacity building ishobora gukora umuyoboro udakora. Capacity building ifasha gukora operation na maintenance y'umuyoboro urimo gukora. Sinzi niba ndimo kubisobanura neza. Mu kubafasha tubafashe bya nyabyo atari ibintu biri just superficial tuvuga ko turimo gufasha abantu gukora maintenance ya pump yarafuye yashize imyaka nk'ibiri. So muri make numvaga ari uburyo ndi bubi so mu magambo make n'urugendo tugomba gukora ariko tukarujyamo neza mu buryo buri I don't know since term nakoresha buri clean atari just ibintu biri superficial. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, WASAC Managing Director and Marie Leonce. That was very well articulated by both of them. We can keep the conversation going while we network. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end of our panel discussion session today, and I want to sincerely thank our panelists for their rich contribution. What has clearly come out of our WASH business plan launch today is it can only succeed through effective or strong collaboration amongst the partners, government, World Vision, other NGOs, and private sector. So we need that strong partnership, effective co-financing that has come out very clearly today, and definitely commitment from all our stakeholders. Thank you so much. Now I want you to join hands and let's appreciate our panelists as we end our session. Thank you.
Of course, thank you so much, Maria, for moderating the wonderful panel discussion. I would like to, could you please help us to bring back the pulpit? Yeah. So thank you so much, everyone, and yeah. Yes, so thanks everyone, and in our midst, I want to recognize World Bank delegate, Mr. Tufitu Muchiza. Please rise up and say hi to us. Yes, thank you. World Bank is one of our great funders, and really we recognize your support. So at this point of time, I would like to welcome our Integrated Programs Director for his remarks. But again, you will take the floor to invite our guest of honor. So please welcome. A round of applause as we receive our IPD.
Thank you, MC. Somebody said that the best way to minimize disagreements is to make sure that all the stakeholders are in the room. So seeing all the key stakeholders in the room is one achievement. I was so delighted to see the commercial banks, the international organizations like World Vision, the UN agencies, the government. Whatever we do, as I said in my opening remarks, is that whatever we do, we align to the government of Rwanda strategic plan. So seeing you in the room, that also gives us confidence that moving forward in the next 5 years, we'll be able to connect more households when it comes to access to clean water. So on the behalf of the National Director, who would have wished to be part of this exciting journey, I just want to thank you for your time, but at the same time for the contribution that you provided in shaping this direction as we continue to have more communities in Rwanda to have access to clean water. Without much ado, I just want to invite our own, the Director General of Ministry of Infrastructure, to give her closing remarks. Thank you so much.
Mwaramutse? Mwaramutse neza? Mwananiwe? Cyangwa murahoze? Dear IPD at World Vision, representing the country director, dear representative of different institutions from the government and non-government institutions, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, all protocol observed. Good morning once again. I'm here representing the Ministry of Infrastructure, exactly the PS, who was not able to make it today. And it is a great honor to be at this official launch of World Vision Rwanda WASH Business Plan 2026-2030. It's a long-term vision. As Mininfra, we acknowledge and appreciate the significant contribution made by World Vision International and the other development partners. We have many in the sector. And your investment had really contributed and tangibly transformed and impacted our people's lives, and we particularly the underserved communities. We also acknowledge the ongoing financial support from the World Vision International towards the water and sanitation sector. We have so many projects in pipeline. So this commitment is a statement to the strong partnership between the government of Rwanda and the development partners in advancing sustainable access to clean water and improved sanitation services. We acknowledge the importance of long-term strategic plan like this one we are launching today, and commend World Vision for its forward-looking 5-year WASH business plan. And we acknowledge that such planning is essential to ensure coordinated, efficient, and impactful interventions that align with national priorities. We would also like to encourage other partners, like some are represented here, to emulate this exemplary initiative from World Vision International. Strategic, well-coordinated, and long-term investments are critical to achieving universal access to water and sanitation services and to fostering resilience in the sector. We believe that access to clean water and improved sanitation is a fundamental to a dignified and healthy life of all humans. It's a basic human need and a key driver of social and economic development. For some people, when we talk water as a social part, they tend of not investing in that. Still, if we don't have a clean water and basic sanitation, we are running to unhealthy population. Significant progress has been made in expanding access to clean water across the country. However, sanitation remains a challenge. While we commend the achievement of reducing open defecation, as per ICV 7, we are now at less than 1% across the country. There is still an urgent need to eliminate this practice entirely and ensure universal access to basic sanitation services. If you follow up on EICV 7, we are not really ranking well on basic sanitation. And we understand this may be based to our informal settlement, but it's our task as the government and its developing partners to eradicate the poor practices in sanitation. The government of Rwanda remains fully committed to this goal, you were just discussing with the MD of WASAC Utility, but maybe on the side of WASAC development, we need to let you know that we have the sector strategic plan, we have strategic priorities, and in water and sanitation, you have different projects. Some have already started, some at advanced level, and the others still in the planning and procurement process. But we are committed to meet the goal. We call upon all development partners to continue playing an active role in this journey. Through coordination and sustainable investment, we can achieve universal access to water and sanitation and contribute meaningfully to Rwanda national development agenda. As we move forward, and someone has already talked about this, it is essential to emphasize the growing impact of climate change on water, sanitation, and hygiene infrastructure. Extreme weather events, shifting rainfall patterns, and rising temperature poses significant risk to the sustainability and functionality of the systems, particularly in vulnerable communities. In this light, there is a need to prioritize the design and construction of climate-resilient wash infrastructure. Integrating resilience measures into planning and implementation will ensure long-term service delivery, protect environment, and safeguard public health. This approach must be embedded in all future WASH initiatives to build a system that will withstand environment shocks and adapt to environmental climate realities. Turabiziranyeho mwese iyo hari uduce tw'igihugu iyo imvura yaguye tuba tuzi yuko tutari bubona amazi. Ibi bintu ntabwo twabigendamo imyaka 10, 50, ababyeyi bacu barabibayemo, natwe tubibemo, n'abana bacu bazabibemo. Byaba bigaragara nkaho tutari kureba kure, ariko kandi turahareba dufite ubwo bushobozi. Igisigaye ni ugufata izo mbaraga tukazikoresha. Aho mutuye i Kigali murabizi, mubona akenshi message za WASAC kuri rationing, cyangwa se aho tunyura kuri X tukayibona aha n'aha itiyo yaturitse. Akenshi binaturutse kuri no climate issues. Murabizi ko tujya tubabwira tuti uruganda aha n'aha ntago ruri gukora kubera yuko imvura yaguye, turbidity yazamutse. Ibyo ni ibintu tugomba kurebaho nk'igihugu, nk'abafatanyabikorwa, tukagira icyo duhindura, kuko kirashoboka. Harabura yuko dushyire force zacu hamwe, tugashyira hamwe investment, tukareba ikintu kimwe kinini gishobora gusavinga community. Ni byiza yuko habaho imishinga akenshi mito isavinga abaturage aho baherereye, ariko turasaba n'abapartenaire mu kudufasha kugira ngo tuze kuva ku mishinga mito cyane, udusysteme duto tugera dusavinga abantu 3,000, 5,000, 7, tujye kuri systems nini. Ize for World Vision ifite n'abandi bapartenaire bafite, habigiye tuzirebera hamwe, tuzikoresha, atari kuvuga ngo World Vision yakoze aha, Water for People yakoze aha, Water Aid yakoze aha, tuvuge ngo abapartenaire bateruriye hamwe ikintu kinini kigamije gusavinga society y'u Rwanda, hanyuma tukagira ibihinduka. Nitwe tugomba kugira ibyo duhindura. So Minefrere affirms that joint efforts between government institutions, development partners, and local stakeholders are key to enhancing the performance of the water sector. This collaboration directly contributes to the successful implementation of NST2 and other visions we have as the country, ensuring inclusive and sustainable development. Murakoze, merci beaucoup, thank you.
Andi mashyi menshi ku mushyitsi mukuru nyakubahwa DG ukaba n'umushyitsi mukuru muri ibi birori byacu, murakoze cyane kuba muhesheje umugisha ibirori byacu. So on agenda, we are almost coming to conclusion. We just have 2 items on agenda. And at this point of time, we're going to have a World Vision is 30 years celebration video, and will be followed by taking photos and, of course, press time. So, IT, if the video is ready, please take us.
Heart of Africa, Rwanda stands tall, a nation of resilience, beauty, and hope. A small country with big ambitions. World Vision has walked with Rwanda through its darkest days and brightest victories for the past 30 years. In 1994, Rwanda faced one of the greatest tragedies of our time. Families were torn apart. Children were left orphaned, and communities were devastated. World Vision started its operations in Rwanda then and provided support to those affected, providing emergency aid, food, shelter, and hope to millions forced to flee.
I was probably the first national Rwandan staff with World Vision in 1994 during the genocide. Then World Vision came 2 weeks or 1 week after we got in Byumba, because we were there in the camps. So we had around 15,000 people around there. Our first job was to distribute aid to the different people in the camp, distributing saucepans and blankets and food items for women mainly and children. World Vision became our partner in the Ministry of Reconciliation.
Mbere y'uko World Vision mbasha kumenyana nayo, hari ibihe bitari binyoroheye nabayemo, tuba muri ibintu bya jenoside, biradukomerera cyane, ari ukubura ababyeyi, ari ukubura ingingo zitandukanye, nabona nta kaboko mfite, mbura umuryango, ariko World Vision umaze kumenyana nayo barankomeje. Mu by'ukuri pe, World Vision nibo bahise baduhereza amahugurwa, rero bituma abantu bakoze jenoside n'abantu bayikorewe baraduhuza, baduhugurira ahantu hamwe, noneho tugenda twiyumvanamo, bituma tubasha gutanga imbabazi, nabo babasha gukunguka badusaba imbabazi. Ni ukuvuga ngo wababashe kunsaba imbabazi, habonetsemo umuntu umwe wenyine mu bantu bananyica n'umwana, twabashije guhana igihango cy'ibiti twateye. Nafashe igiti ngenda gitera iwabo, nawe arazatera ikindi iwanjye kugira ngo abana bajye babasha kugisarura. Ubwo rero icyo ni igihango cyo hagati y'ubumwe n'ubwiyunge twari dufitanye njyewe nawe, ariko byose tubifashijwemo na World Vision.
Ndakunda kuvuga ngo ni marayika wazamukiye muri bari abantu kugira ngo tubone ubuzima cyangwa twongere tuve. Nabyise ngo ni igisate cy'ingunguru byari igisate cy'ingunguru pe. Icyo gihe ubuzima bwaratangiye, dutangira kuryama turasinzira, ya mvura natwe tukajya tuyumva nk'abandi. Ku bw'ibyo byose World Vision yangejejeho, nifuje kuyikorera igitabo ndi kucyandika, ndifuza kuzagitanga muri World Vision ya hano mu Rwanda, nanashimira babandi bakoranye na World Vision bakongera bakampesha ubuzima.
But we didn't stop there. In the year 2000, World Vision planted seeds of hope in a new mission to rebuild, renew, and restore. With long-term development programs, we began transforming lives, community by community, child by child. We focused on education, health, clean water, and livelihoods. We built schools and health facilities, economically empowered families and their communities, and built water systems, creating a foundation for sustainable change.
Mbere yuko dufatanya na World Vision, twe dufite ibibazo bitandukanye bigendanye n'imyigire n'imyigishirize, cyane cyane nko kutagira isomero, abana baburaga aho basomera n'abarimu bakabura imfashanyigisho zihagije mu gutegura amasomo. Aho rero World Vision iziye, twabonye ikibuga cyiza kiri integrated, aho abantu bakinira basket, rimwe na rimwe tugakiramo na volleyball. Hanyuma tubona na library irimo ibitabo byiza, baradufasha baduha ibikoresho bitandukanye by'ubwubatsi, tubona aho abana basomera, bakorera ubushakashatsi n'abarimu aho bategurira amasomo. Hanyuma tuza no kubona noneho n'ibikoresho bya laboratoire, kandi byaradufashe cyane kungu imitsindire hejuru.
Ni ibyishimo kuko World Vision yatumye iri shuri ry'imyuga rivuka hano mu murenge wa Gihombo, ari naryo ryonyine riwurimo. Nta n'andi mashuri yari yegereye hano hafi ari imirenge duturanye y'imyuga. Ibyo byatumye hari urubyiruko rwifuzaga kwiga imyuga rurenga imisozi rwabashe kubona aho rwiga.
Iyo nabonye ibiraka ndaza hano nkabikora, abayobozi banjye baramfasha kuko aka kanya ntabwo nabambonye ubushobozi bwo kuba nagura imashini ku giti cyane. Nanjye nyine nkagira icyo nkuramo, nkagenda mu rugo, nkagira icyo niguriramo, nakirirwa nakababyeyi.
Izi nyubako World Vision niyo yagizemo uruhare, ubufatanye n'akarere barazubaka. Ni ukuvuga ngo izi nyubako dufite ubushobozi bwo kwakira toni 5,000. Kuvuga ngo baturage baje kumisha hano cyangwa se amakoperative, abasanzwe bafite amastoke wabo, abo turabumishiriza tukabasaba ko kuko bafite amastoke babijyana muri stoke iwabo mu gihe bagitegereje kubona isoko. Kuba rero World Vision yaratekereje ku baturage b'aka karere, ikubaka izi nyubako zikaba zifasha abaturage b'igihugu, ni igikorwa cyiza twashimira World Vision.
Ibyo rero nshimira World Vision ni byinshi. Iyo ngeze ku rugero rwo guhinga nkatubura n'ingemwe, umuturage wese wo mu karere ka Bugesera akaba yaza kubona urwo rugemwe akarubona, nge nkakontoranga sanga naratanze ingemwe zigera mu 330. Nabyo aba ari igikorwa gikomeye nshimira World Vision. Mu bumenyi bampaye ibyahindutse ni byinshi, mu rugo rwanjye hateye imbere. Iyo hari mitiweli n'iki byose, abana ntibabura icyo kurya, hakaba hari amatungo, ihene, inka, inkoko. Niba narahingaga ahantu hahinga jewe n'umugore wanjye umurimo wa 350, uyu munsi nkoresha abakozi kuva kuwa mbere kugera kuwa gatandatu, kandi nkoresha abakozi batari munsi y'10. Ibyo byose nibyo nkesha World Vision n'ubumenyi yampaye.
Twabona amazi, ni ukuvuga ngo twavomaga kure cyane, hari nk'isaha n'igice kugenda no kugaruka. Byasabaga kubyuka saa 11. Akenshi abana ugasanga barakerewe ku mashuri, akenshi ugasanga bagiye batoze bitewe no kubura amazi cyangwa no kunanirwa bitewe n'uko byabaga ari kure. Ariko aya mazi ahazi yahangaha bisigaye byoroshye cyane. Dukarabira ku gihe, abana bakagira isuku, abana bakajya ku mashuri, mbega kare amasomo bakakurikirana neza, ukabona harimo imihindagurikire cyane.
Mbere twavomaga amazi mabi ko habaga harimo inzoka, imisungwe, n'abantu bajyagamo bakagwamo, umuntu yaba yarayaguyemo umuntu akayanywa. umuntu akayakoresha kubera ko nta yandi tuba dufite. Najya ku ishuri kubera amazi nanyweye arimo imyanda nkarwara inzoka, tukamara n'ukwezi kose tutajya ku ishuri kubera kurwara. World Vision aho tuzaniye amazi nta muntu ukitinzira mu mashuri, umubare w'abarwara wabaye mukeya. Ubu ngubu tusigaye tujya ku ishuri tukabona n'amanota meza, nta muntu ukibona amanota mabi cyangwa umuntu ngo agere ku ishuri akerewe kuba kujya kuvoma.
World Vision started implementing WASH project in Mugomga refugee camp starting from 2014. We normally cover water supply, sanitation and hygiene. So mainly in water supply what we do is that we ensure that we have always running water. We ensure that the water that we supply to refugee population is clean and safe. And as you may know, we have the WASH indicators as per sphere standards. We have to make sure that at least every refugee has 20 liters per person per day. We have a very good number of water points within the camp where people do not do more than 100 meters from their household to the water point.
Iyo umubyeyi yabyaraga ntabwo twategezaga ko amasaha 24 arangira ko babaga ari benshi. None icyo gihe arigihe twababwiraga bagataha yagera nko mu rugo tugasanga umwana arwaye jaundice kugaruka yapfuye. Ariko ubu ngo izo menje nazo tukigira basigaye bimeze neza kuko umubyeyi atamaze kuruhuka amasaha 24 yemewe.
Today, World Vision has impacted more than 8 million vulnerable children across Rwanda, with 290 dedicated employees working across the country. Through 24 programs, we focus on what matters most: child protection, education, health and nutrition, water, sanitation and hygiene, and building resilient communities.
It's been a great journey walking along World Vision and with World Vision. 30 years of significant achievements. As a district, we have the Joint Action Development Forum, where it's a forum that brings together all our partners. And World Vision, for those very many years, have been a potential partner in the journey of development of our people. But more to say, putting a child at the helm of everything brings everything into context.
I want again to thank and appreciate World Vision. We now see you as a family, as a friends of Rwanda, of churches. When we see our children, the young people and the families celebrating, we see you in our lives. What if we stay together and celebrate, and the journey we have will be a time to dream together and celebrating together.
We are filled with much gratitude for the far that we've gone, the journey, and this celebration is not just about what we have achieved as World Vision, but it's also about the unwavering support and commitment that we've received from partners, donors, and supporters like you. Therefore, let's commit to making transformation.
I want to thank the government of Rwanda for creating an environment for World Vision to contribute to the country's rebuilding after the '94. And I keep every day reminding myself of the beautiful story of Rwanda as one of the most exciting examples of where hope is possible even in what is seen as a hopeless situation.
As we look toward the future, World Vision remains steadfast in its mission. By 2025, we aim to impact the lives of 2 million vulnerable children, breaking the cycle of poverty and empowering a new generation. 30 years of impact, 30 years of transforming the lives of children, families, and their communities. And this is only the beginning.
So this time I would like to invite the high table to join me on stage. We are going to have to go through a photo session. But again, informing you that taking you through this video is deliberately to show you that World Vision is not only in WASH, but also in education, livelihood development, sponsorship, and among others. So please, the high table, please join me on stage. Yes, please. Charity, please come and take a lead.